Example A, the feline sewing assistant hard at work. This happens to be a brocade floral that I actually happened to find at a local antique shop. It is really, really stunning. Let me just zoom in here so you can appreciate this. It has a mustardy colored yellow background, but it does have a bit of shine to it, as you can see. I'm not seeing any metallic threads. It's more so just a silky finish giving the shine. And so Jace, being the very smart boy that he was laying on the fabric earlier. But currently, we are deciding that it is more of being a cave cat situation. Hello, sir. Are you helping? I will put you back in your habitat. Some of the ends are a little bit rough, and these are your salvage ends on the sides. So I have several yards of this. I know that I could do probably a French hood, 4 sleeves, and a partlet from this if I really wanted to do it for my own outfits for tutor. Definitely very possible. It is a little bit, you know, bigger of a pattern to, it would definitely be more like late Renaissance kind of thing. Or I can save it. I do have a 28-inch doll that I'm currently working on, and I'm thinking I may do this as a mid-17th century gown for that doll, because there's features for that are a little bit different. I have been dealing with a little bit of health issues lately, so unfortunately it's meant research time for me mainly. And with that research, what I've been doing is looking into 1660 French court clothing and what it was like and how that was different versus the early 17th century. So like the 1610s and 20s style outfits, and how it compares and contrasts what's going on politically, all of those good things. I really enjoy the French style of 1660. The English is not bad though. Both are very nice. It's interesting how the bodices still have a point. They're just a little bit different. A lot of the colors are very muted unless you're in the court. You do see more pastels come in, more blues, grays, silvers, and a little bit of rosy pinks. So it's what this would be, is doing that sort of thing. It's moving. We have moved to the far end. Doth he emerge? Jace, what you doing? Hey, yo. What you doing over there? Did you discover an exit? The carpet smells interesting in that spot, apparently. But getting back to what I was saying, I'm thinking about 1660s style French court gown. Apparently the fabric is not as interesting anymore. He may lay on it here in a minute, because he likes fancy fabric. I think he likes how it feels to lay on it and on his paws. So. Yeah, look what you did. But as I was saying, one of the things that they would do is create a skirt, a partlet, well, not really partlet, but an underskirt that would show off the fancy fabric. They'd probably still back it in a less expensive fabric to save on time, well, on money, actually. and use a cheaper fabric on the back. But they basically, you see the transition time frame in the mid 1600s to what will eventually become the mantua in the 18th century. You have a matching underskirt. Then you have your gown that would go over top, which, you know, would be over a set of stays. And the top gown could either be, what I noticed is that you can have matching under skirt and outer gown, and it normally looks all as one piece. You still have the layers, so you can use trim on the edges and do some decoration, although during this time frame, because this would have been during the reign of Charles II, that means there was a bit more austerity during that time because of the English Civil War going on in England. So a lot of the colors were a bit more muted. People looked a little bit what they called disheveled in there. So sometimes there wasn't as much trims going on with certain dresses, for everyday dresses especially. But the court gowns always seem to be made of a nice brocade, especially if you were a noble and up. They always seem to have the more expensive fabrics specifically done for court outfits, which is normal, makes sense. That's when you want to show off your wealth. So I absolutely love these are like a lilac is what it makes me think of, with its fancy like leaves. You do get lilacs not just in purple but white, and then there's also like a light lavender. And this is kind of like that dusty rose color. It doesn't quite read lavender, but it is still really, really gorgeous. I can't believe I just found this fabric for sale, because something like this would have been very, very expensive. And this whole entire piece, I paid $30 for. And this easily could have been, $30 a yard or more for something like this. I got the whole piece for that, so that's still a good deal. Let's put it that way. This would definitely be made out of like a rayon kind of thread from what I can tell here. There is some like cottony type fibers, because I'm looking at these end fibers here. You have something like this is a bit more cottony, and then you have these shiny ones, which would end up being a bit more on the rayon side of things. So that's what I think is going on with the fiber content on here. I will have to do a burn test to kind of figure out, okay, how much natural fibers versus artificial fibers kind of thing. That helps me pick thread, that is appropriate to it. If it's more cotton based, I'll use a cotton thread. If it is more polyester based, I'll do a matching colored polyester based, all-purpose thread, something like that. And with this having both like a gold color, like a dark mustardy color, and this rosy pink, I could use either or a color thread, and it will not show up very much because you have this pattern going on. It would not be very noticeable. But yeah, I have a larger doll, and I'm thinking about having her wear this beautiful fabric and do a 16th century French court style, 17th century court style gown with this for her, because she's a taller one, so you would need something like that. And I can always make a set of stays and do all of the things. And I do have a rose that is this kind of color. I don't know. I might be able to do something like that for her hair. She actually has a wig, so I can certainly style her hair in the appropriate period hairstyle and all of that good stuff. But yep, Jace has decided that the fabric is not exciting anymore, probably because I started videoing, which is hilarious because normally when I do make a video, he ends up deciding, well, gee, that's the best time to show up. Hold on a moment, I'm going to show you another piece of fabric.